and try to take control of the mess because it's a little spring gardening and we've got Ciscoe here.
Oh la la, it's so great to be here. I love coming on here.
We love having you here, especially because this is important, Ciscoe. That was pretty much a travesty what happened to our plants.
Yeah.
What's the matter with Fido? Finally, Fido has given us some good weather here.
Hey, you know, I'm
Seriously.
Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
I mean, with the winter that we had, it was so mild at first. Things started to bloom, but then we got that freeze in February.
Yeah.
So how can we help
So
our
now
plants?
plants look like this.
Right.
Yep.
Is there any going back?
Well, you know, the funny thing is, now this plant, it looks deader than a doornail. It'll
Yeah.
come back from the roots, no problem.
Oh, it will?
But
Cool.
this is a really rare Schefflera relative that lives outside in my garden, but it's barely hardy. And when I looked at that, I was like, this is
How
not
did
good.
you know? Because it looks like it would come back.
Well, you know how you know?
Yeah, I want to know.
You rub the bottom, and you scrape off the bottom, and this is really white in there.
Oh, if it's, what
It's
does it
going
have
to
to be
probably
green?
come back.
Show it to the camera.
Oh, you think this will come back or no?
I think that's going to come back.
Oh,
If it was
nice.
bright green, I'd know it's going to come back. White, there's still hope. But here's the thing. I'm not going to know if that's alive until mid-June.
Oh, man.
So I'll cut it down, have it sitting there. And the problem is you go to the nursery, you see lots of really nice plants. Your
Right.
time may be very
time
short,
may be limited.
buddy. Oh, la, la. Hey, you guys have to smell the
This,
flowers on
okay.
this.
This smells
this?
like, I said, what is this, some sort of weird pink gardenia thing,
See,
Ciscoe?
Yeah,
a few.
this is Daphne Adora, the most fragrant plant in the garden. And I should have warned you, though, before you sniffed that,
God.
because I saw both of your socks start rolling up and down when you took a sniff. That's how fragrant
I thought
this
you were
thing
gonna
is.
say I was going to break out in a rash.
He's like, by the way, it's the most beautiful and deadly.
But
Wow, that's not-
see how it
What
snapped?
happened? What
yeah.
happened?
So the heavy weight of that snow just made that split. And you see a lot of trees do that, all kinds of plants now. And the thing is, now you can't just cut this back.
You can't?
Because what a lot of people do is they just go, okay, I'll cut this back.
Yeah.
They cut it like that. You never want to leave a stub like that.
Oh,
Why?
Because the leaves are the pump that make the food and water go up and down the branch.
So it's like a waste.
If you cut that off, now there's no reason for food and water to go up and down there. This thing's going to die and then disease is going to get in.
Oh, dear, what do we
so
do?
you have to cut where you got a good-sized branch. If you cut to there, you're okay. But there's one other
I
thing.
see.
I'm not going to cut this
Okay.
until it's done blooming because it's going to smell great either way. Then I'll cut it off and get rid of it. But I'm going to let that stay out there, even though it's right across the middle of the sidewalk. No one minds stepping over it, you know.
right, right. Oh,
If
my
it smells this good, you certainly don't.
So I have a question, though, because you said that within this one being white in the middle here,
Yeah.
you noticed it may come back. If it were green, you'd know for sure.
Yeah.
Well, this is showing white. Now, is that just because it's a different
Well,
type
let's
of
scrape
plant?
right under the bark
Okay. Oh, you have to get...
and
oh,
see
it's
how much
green.
more green this one is.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So,
See if they can see.
yeah, see if we can see that. So, the greener you see in there, the better off you are. I still have my definite doubts about this guy coming back.
That guy may be sayonara.
That was a really expensive plant. I have some pictures we could look at,
Yeah,
too.
let's look at the picture.
So that's my neighbor's tree, and the whole end of that thing broke off in the heavy snow.
Right.
But he didn't cut it right. He shouldn't have left that stub like
Just like
that.
you were
It had to
saying.
be. That should have been cut back down there. That whole thing's going to die.
How does your neighbor not, like, how does Ciscoe Morris's neighbor not know better?
That's my neighbor's yard too.
I
Oh,
mean,
it was a disaster.
Throwing your
area.
neighbor under the bus.
I mean,
Oh man, I told her. Oh, and
Did you
look at
tell him,
this.
though? Did you-
Oh yeah, I told them hire someone.
Oh, my gosh, that's hilarious. Okay,
Now,
this has
thi-
happened in my neighborhood.
You see this all over the place. They
yes.
splay out like this.
Yeah.
Now,
Right.
You could put a stake. You could tie a stake to a branch.
Okay.
Not very tight because you don't want to ever tie tight around the branch.
Okay.
And then what you could do is you could hold them up to that stake and you could put deer fencing. It looks like bird netting
Right.
around there.
Okay.
And it disappears in there. You don't even see it.
Okay.
And it would recover. But you know what I'd do if that was mine?
You would just cut it
I'd
off.
get up there with my pruners and chop away, you know. And besides, they're going into the wires anyway. It
Yeah,
needs to
right.
cut that down, you know.
Is that your neighbor too?
No, that's one of your producers.
I love this.
Call the power company.
Hey,
Oh my gosh.
and I wanted to let everybody know right now
Yeah.
you should be pruning your roses and hydrangeas.
Okay. Roses, hydrangeas.
Prune the livid tweedle out of them. Don't fool around. 6 inches high, outward facing bud, they'll come back so full and beautiful. And with hydrangeas, don't chop the whole thing right to the ground. That's what
Okay.
everybody does. You don't get any flowers if you do that. So just cut a third of the big branches down right to the ground.
Okay.
And then leave the rest and only cut them down a little bit because they only bloom on what grew last year.
Oh, interesting.
What
So-
about butterfly bushes? How do you cut those?
You wait till April
Okay.
and then just chop the livid tweedle out of those guys 6 inches from the ground. And,
6 inches from the ground?
Yep,
So then, do
yep.
you have a bush then?
oh, it'll come right back and it'll bloom late in the summer, right where
Really?
you want it to.
All
Yep. And all
right.
those butterflies and hummingbirds will be all over that, which is so wonderful.
Wow.
Don't do it before April.
Okay.
People do it too early in the year,
And they
then we
die?
get cold weather and it kills them. So
No.
Yeah, because technically we could still get snow. Probably not going to happen.
no,
But
no, oh no,
You are like,
oh, there goes my whole day right
I'm
there.
poor Ciscoe. You're the opposite of ooh la la over there.
Oh,
Oh, no, no.
Oh, no.
it's sob la la.
No, we look like things are warming up and it's going to stay
Oh, good, good, good. Woo-hoo.
Sorry.
All right, Ciscoe, thank you
Oh,
so
it's so
much.
great being out with
Oh,
you
he's
folks.
the best.
It's really
Hope you
fun.
learned something. Ciscoe, where can people find more information?
Well, you can go to my website, or you can listen to my radio show, or
Oh,
There you go.
read my book.
there you
Read
go.
his book. All right, we'll be right back.